Hi there, my name is Arlene Murray. In this presentation, I'm going to be talking to you about Króga. Króga is our interactive story game aimed towards pre-teens, 12 to 15-year-olds. Króga is the Irish for brave, and it's very brave to talk about your mental health issues. Króga is aimed towards pre-teens because we want to raise awareness about anxiety and depression before the complications of being a teenager start to set in. I feel mental health issues are not addressed as they should be in schools. Mental health issues can erupt either at home, at school, or amongst friends. We knew we wanted to create a game of some sort, but we got the idea of making it about mental health because it is becoming more and more important a topic in Irish society lately. As well as that, myself and my team members Owen and Deirdre have at some point suffered from anxiety or depression. As a team of 3, we each had to decide on what roles we had to take on for this project. I consider myself better at words than technology, so I decided I would create the theory behind the game. My teammate Deirdre and I would describe scenarios to the player, and Owen would create the game on Twine based around those scenarios. Króga starts off with a simple explanation of how you may feel when you're experiencing anxiety or depression. From here, the player has to choose which sort of environment they want to place themselves in, school, home, or amongst friends. The decision the players make throughout this short game decides the outcome. The first option on this homepage is school. In this scenario, the player is faced with the options of skipping school to avoid their bullies, or realising that this is something bigger than them and they should really seek some outside help. In Ireland alone, 1 in 4 students experience abusive behaviour from fellow students or a classmate. This school scenario is what my teammate Deirdre and I worked on together. I would come up with a couple of lines and Deirdre would reciprocate, and eventually we piece the storyline together. The important thing is that the player chooses the direction of the story, which aims to improve their decision-making skills. The next and last 2 scenarios are the ones that we worked on individually. Deirdre chose the home environment and I chose being amongst friends. In this section, the player is feeling lost because they don't know where their individual strengths or talents lie in comparison to their very accomplished siblings. The player feels like they can't talk to their parents because their parents seem so proud of the other siblings that talking to them would only make them disappointed. The player is gently persuaded into talking about their feelings with a close friend or relative, as opening up about their issues will give them a sense of relief. The last section on friends was written by me. I decided to go with the topic of being peer pressured into consuming alcohol. Ireland has one of the highest rates in Europe for underage alcohol consumption, and I thought it would be fitting to centre the topic around this, and it particularly shows the effects of good and bad decision-making skills. For this, the player has to decide whether to be the bigger person and not to succumb to peer pressure, or if they will take the drink in order to not lose face in front of their peers and their school crush. Again, the player is advised to do the right thing, but in the moment it can be difficult to decide what is right. Throughout the entire game, the player gets to decide what direction the game or storyline should go in. If a player were to develop their decision-making skills, it could help them in the future. Also, by encouraging them to talk to someone and to speak out, it would avoid them having to deal with their issues on their own. After finishing the story, we then thought it would be fun to create a logo for Króga. We went online and found some free logo tools. We went with the jigsaw piece at the end because they're symbolic of decision making, and the colours are also symbolic, with red being the colour for bravery, green represents safety and environment, and blue represents mental health. Next time, if I were to stick to the same type of interactive story, I would explore other tools to create it in, apart from Twine. Twine was great for the amount of time that we had, but next time I feel that something a bit more complex could be used, maybe with different uses of media throughout, making it a bit more visual. I had a lot of fun making this digital artefact. My teammates as well were great. Thankfully, all the work that we did was divided evenly and no one had to pick up the slack for anyone else. It's important that young people know that there is always someone there to listen to them. Thank you for watching and also listening to my presentation today.
created using Powtoon.